Welcome home. This is Audio EXP, the weekly podcast from Geek Native. I am your host, Girdy, and today is the 16th of May 2026. This week we are tracking significant structural changes across the tabletop industry, including a growing digital ownership crisis for the next generation of Dungeons & Dragons, strict new crowdfunding boundaries for mature content, and a corporate restructuring at a prominent British publisher. Before we get into the main headlines, there's a quick update on our community events. The current role-playing game publisher spotlight honoree for May is NDV Maps. They have not yet responded to our interview requests, and with the UK Games Expo rapidly approaching at the end of the month, our schedule is looking exceptionally tight. We are going to give them a few more days of grace before moving forward, as we know the frantic pre-convention season can be for independent creators. You can keep an eye on our RPG Publisher Spotlight hub page for updates. Our top story looks at the digital horizon for the world's largest role-playing game rule set. The community is increasingly questioning the long-term reality of the digital ecosystem ahead of the next major rule deployment. As Wizards of the Coast pushes further into a live service, virtual tabletop-centric business model, players are confronting a serious D&D ownership crisis, highlighting why you might access but never actually own the next edition. The shift suggests that consumers may only ever purchase a license to access the content through an active ecosystem rather than owning permanent static reference manuals, sparking intense debate over digital consumer rights. At the same time, independent publishers are facing a sudden squeeze on traditional crowdfunding platforms. Creators are navigating what has been described as the crowdfunding purge, looking closely at why Kickstarter is squeezing adult role-playing games off the platform. Kickstarter has quietly tightened its restrictions and altered how mature-themed tabletop content is categorized and discovered, leaving indie designers scrambling to adjust their production pipelines or seek alternative funding options like BackerKit. In publishing news, the landscape is shifting for Oxford-based Osprey Games. The company has announced that the future of Osprey Games sees its role-playing games remain, while the board game division hits the market. It's for sale. Crucially, our corner of the hobby, their RPG line, is explicitly excluded from the sale. Osprey intends to retain and continue developing its book-based role-playing properties, signalling a strategic split between their tabletop formats. We are also tracking substantial rows regarding artificial intelligence within the community. A large group of role-playing game industry veterans are demanding immediate removal from a controversial AI directory. The creators discovered that their names, professional portfolios, biographical data had been aggregated without their consent into a database seemingly designed to categorize human talent for generative models, prompting swift legal and public pushback from prominent artists and designers. If you want more on this drama, then head over to Geek Native and search for 4 Pillar Games. On a brighter note, we sat down for an exclusive look at the high-profile cyberpunk infiltration game. We published an in-depth review exploring inside Mantic's lethal Ghost in the Shell TTRPG, featuring insights from Alessio Cavatore and Zach Barra. This is a fascinating design overview, especially since the market currently boasts a unique double feature with 2 entirely separate Ghost in the Shell role-playing games. In accessories, Bronwyn has been checking out some gorgeous new components for your horror campaigns. She advises players to keep rolling with these new Cirrus Ravenloft dice sets, noting that they capture an excellent, heavy gothic aesthetic, perfect for anyone exploring the mists of Barovia. As promised, we wrap up this week's episode with our digital bundles before checking in on our current giveaway. First, for horror fans, you can step into the shadows with an extensive Delta Green Cosmic Bundle. packed with psychological dread and modern tactical operations. For those who prefer to play alone, the Critical Kit solo bundle has officially landed on the Bundle of Holding, offering excellent narrative options to prowl and fly solo through your own custom adventures. And finally, do not forget to enter our ongoing competition to win Burnout Rabbit from Plushy Dreadfalls. The entry window is still open. You can find the link to secure your chance at the absolute bottom of the show notes. That is it for this week. Thank you for listening to Audio EXP. For the full links and all the stories, head over to the blog. Until next week, stay geeky.